What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Boss. Just wanted to show you guys what I got in the mail. Brand new watches. Now, most of you guys may not understand the art and sophistication that goes behind horology, but people who are, to a certain extent, sophisticated, classy, cultured, understand that there's more to a watch than just something that looks beautiful on the front. So let me take you to a tour these particular watches. Now this first one here is from Parnis. It's what we horologists or those involved in horology would consider a traditional watch. Traditional in the sense that it's very basic. It's not contemporary. Doesn't have any of those weird, modern, crazy, outrageous looks to it. It's got a simple design. You've got 1 to 12. You've got here, which is the seconds movement. The original one right there is the minute and hour movement. Now, this particular one, and the reason why I got it is because of the finish. It's got a nice sheen to it, and it's got the blue numbers and the blue dials. Classic design from Swiss watches. Now that right there is the power reserve. You can see I've got it fully charged. It's at 40 hours. And what I mean by fully charged is that I've got the spring wound, and I've got 40 hours of watch time before I need to wind it again. Alright, this next one here is also a very traditional classical type watch. Now this one here is a very, very well done replication, or should I say reproduction, of a I.W.C watch. I.W.C stands for International Watch Company. Now, back in the early 1920s and 30s, pilots needed to tell time accurately as they're doing their bomb raids. Problem is, during those times, they didn't have watches or the sophisticated technology we have today, and so they used to organize their bomb runs on the watch and the timepieces that they had. So the U.S. military, or in this case U.S. Army, contracted with the Swiss company, the International Watch Company, and asked them for three basic things that they wanted in a watch. First, they wanted a design that incorporated big, bright, glow-in-the-dark numbers so that their pilots can tell what time it was when they were, 4, 5, 7,000 feet in the air. Secondly, they wanted to have a big crown dial. That way they can wind and adjust their time to coordinate with bomb runs. You know, when you're in the 1920s and 30s, these pilots used to wear these very big and bulky, comfortable and warm pilot suits during the time to keep them warm at high altitude. So when you have gloves on to keep your gloves from freezing, you got to be able to set your time and obviously wind the spring to keep it alive. Now, like I said, it's traditional. It only has the hour and minute hand and the seconds movement. Now, traditionally, the seconds movement was never incorporated with the minute and hour hand. It's a contemporary thing that they do now, but in the past, traditionally, the seconds movement or seconds hand was always off kilter, either to the side, like this one, the bottom, on the top, wherever. It was not incorporated with the minute and hour hand. Now this one here is what I really like, because even though it is a Parnis watch, it is a very well done reproduction of Breguet. Now Breguet is one of the oldest watch companies out there, and they are all about traditional styling. They don't have any contemporary styling. It's all traditional. And you can see here that this particular one incorporates a dual time zone. Now you see the minute and second hand there. So the first, that one up there is the second. And you can see there's about an hour. Well, nope, it's about the same time zone right now. All you got to do is just open the dial here, wind it backwards, and every 12 hours, the minute and seconds dial here will go back 1 hour. So you twist it the opposite direction, and you can adjust for your time zone. Now, as in tradition, the seconds hand is right there, off to the side. Now it's got a very classic design with the bevel having these marks here. That's distinguished mark of Breguet. All right. The most interesting thing about this one is that if you look down here, you have the 24-hour sun and moon phase, and within 24 hours, that dial changes from the sun, where it runs the cycle through sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moonset, whatever you call it. You can see the traditional styling there. Now, why get these watches? Why buy these particular watches? They don't look special, right? They don't have any contemporary styles that's going to get you anywhere. However, if you understand the watches, you know what goes into building such a watch. And so I'm going to flip these around, and I'm going to be comfortable with doing that because all three of these have crystal sapphire glass, which means it's non-scratch or scratch proof. And so this one, we'll start this one here. This one is what we call a mechanical watch, a winding watch, traditional in the sense of watches. And as I flip it over, you see the mechanism there. Now, every time you want this watch to work, you've got to wind the spring. You've got to wind the spring, and the spring is in that housing right there. You can see the spring catch that catches the spring, and slowly the energy is released, and these give you up to about 40 hours. Now you can see the balance wheel there, which keeps track of the seconds. And as a matter of fact, you can see the craftsmanship that goes behind this watch. It's a beautiful example of traditional mechanical winding watch. Now, this other one is made by the same manufacturer who does these reproductions, and it has the almost identical movement. And when I say movement, I mean the actual entire mechanism. It's called the movement. All right. These are the seagull movements, which have been patented by this particular maker. You can see they're identical in terms of the design. Different jewels, different colorations on different screws, which they determine themselves. But you can see that it's the same exact mechanical patented movement, the seagull movement. All right. Now let's go to this next one over here, and this one is a little bit newer on the horology spectrum. And why is it new? Because it's what we call an automatic watch. Now, an automatic watch will automatically wind the spring for you as long as you have it on your wrist and you're moving about. You can see that piece of metal there that moves freely, and you hear that click. It's winding. Now you can manually wind the spring, as I have, to give it the power or the energy, and as you're wearing it and moving around, the watch will automatically wind itself. Now you can see here this movement, because it's a automatic movement, it's completely different in terms of design. Balance wheel is completely in a different position. Bridge is designed differently. Now, I've been very impressed with these new watches that have come into the market. I've bought watches in the past, and they were of good quality, but these are exceptional quality. Now, you may want to ask, what makes the difference between these kinds of watches and the watches that you may see going in the stores for well over $1,000. Biggest difference is materials that are used in these watches versus the actual watches made by Swiss creators. Now, Swiss creators don't use basic metals. They only use what we would call precious metals: titanium, silver, gold, platinum, those kinds of materials. Now, these watches are made of just traditional metals, brass and stainless steel. And that's why they are affordable to people like myself and to people who enjoy the art and sophistication of horology, but can't pan out 5, 10, 20, 30, hundreds of thousands of dollars on just a simple watch. So if you do your research, find these companies that make reproductions, then you can own a timepiece that is just as well made, not just made from precious metals. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, any comments, let me know. I paid just a little bit under $80 per watch. Now, to give you a perspective, these watches, if you were to go into a boutique, right, off the strip, in the mall, not no expensive boutique, but just a regular watch boutiques, these watches would run you an easy $200, $300, $400. Now, this automatic watch here, easy $200, $300. These are the ones, because they're mechanical and manual winding. You're probably going to pay around $150 to $200. But if you go to the right guy, you might try to charge up to $400 for these watches. But you do your research, you can get these under $80. Now, we in the world of horology can appreciate these watches, and many of you guys won't be able to appreciate them in the sense that we do. But that's our cup of tea. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I can show you where you can get these watches. Thanks for watching. This is Big Boss, signing out.